And now, live from the Squared Circle Production Studios, it's the Squared Circle Podcast. And here are your hosts, Spencer Hart and the Squared Circle Podcast heavyweight champion, Max Beattie.
Quite a drop from the top, so how you feeling down there? It's a cold, cruel, harsh reality. Caught, stuck here with your enemies. Who do you think you are? Tearing us all apart. Where did you think you could go?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Squared Circle Podcast on Spreaker.com, iTunes, Player.fm, PodDirectory.com, Stitcher.com, TuneIn Radio, IWNerd.com, Castbox.fm, and all the great podcasting network sites that we are on. We're having a throwback episode today for the last show, 2016. It is me and Mr. Squared Circle Podcast heavyweight champion, Max Beattie. How you doing, my friend?
The work week's almost over, so I'm doing okay.
Yeah, it's
Actually, I'm doing really good after this week's Smackdown.
That's fair, and we're going to talk about that in great detail today, because Smackdown really solidified their claim to be the number one show, the A show. They really did.
It might be the blue brand, but it ain't the B brand.
Hey. Yeah, so we're going to start out with some Monday Night Raw, and as much as I don't want to, we're going to do it anyway. So,
Want a shocker?
Raw, I have written here on the show notes, Raw equals a terrible way to end the year. Now, given, there were a couple of good things. A solid tag team match between Cesaro and Sheamus versus The New Day. Absolutely brilliant. I've always enjoyed The New Day. Recently, anyway. The way that they win their matches the last few times has been less than stellar. I'm curious to see as to how Cesaro I'm curious to see how Cesaro works out in the long term, you know what I mean?
I'm really hoping that creative and Vince don't just see them as transitional champions. If they want to do a program where, they drop the belts and then they do a story where they, reclaim them, that's fine. I just really, really hope that they're not going to be transitional champs. I don't want that. That would hurt them. That would hurt the belts. I'm hoping 2017 is a banner year for their championship run.
What do you think of the new belts?
The Raw Tag Team belts?
Yeah.
Honestly, this is going to sound really weird. I really like them. The red and the silver kind of work. I think they actually fixed whatever they did to polish or treat the material, because it doesn't look like a fruit roll-up this time. And I don't know, just overall they got a nice little bit of a pop to the design. I kind of like them. In fact, I would dare say I like them as much as the SmackDown Tag Team belts.
Yeah, I do like the SmackDown Tag Team belts a little bit more because the blue pops better. But I think both brands are really kind of getting around the color brands. So the fact that they debuted the tag team belts with red on them, it really solidifies that, hey, we're the red brand, we're the blue brand, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. The longer it's gone on, the more I like this whole. Yeah, the two shows really are separate shows. They have their own mid-card belt. They have their own divisions. They have their own tag team, their own this, their own that. And I don't know. I'm really starting to groove on the concept.
Yeah, and I want to actually ask you about the mid-cards.
Okay.
Is the United States Championship dead?
Oh, man. You coming at me swinging, man. Is the U.S. Championship dead? Oh, God. I don't want to be the person that ends 2016 by saying the U.S. Championship is dead. But God, I don't know about dead. You remember how it felt, how the U.S. belt felt before Cena had his big run with it?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about it now, where it's like, I respect its heritage. I respect its legacy. It's really, though, at this point, it's kind of gone back to being nothing more than the mid-card belt. And I remember you and I both saying that if after all the work Cena put into restoring that thing, if they dropped the ball with it, that would be a crime. And it's kind of how I'm feeling right now, buddy.
Somebody needs to get arrested.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want about John Cena, but the man worked his ass off for that damn thing. He made us care about it again. Hashtag make the U.S. Championship great again. And it isn't. I had to get it in there. It isn't anymore. And it's just, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't necessarily think it's dead. I know that Roman has defended it twice since winning it at Hell in a Cell. I think it's been twice.
I think you're right. I think it has been twice.
And I don't know. I really miss the days of John Cena's open challenge.
Right?
Because, yeah, it was pretty much a given that Cena was going to win. At the same time, it's like what draws me the most to the Royal Rumble. You never know who's going to show up. You never know who's going to come out and challenge for the belt. And it adds that... It adds that intrigue of who's coming out tonight. Who's going to answer the open challenge? Now it's just Roman Reigns strolls through the ring with the United States Championship on his belt.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you know what? With Cena, every single Monday Night Raw, even after the whole thing went on for a long time, you still went, yeah, Cena's not dropping the belt. It's not happening tonight. But at the same time, you knew you were going to be guaranteed at least one damn good promo and an probably match of the night. You kind of didn't care. And that's kind of an okay spot for wrestling to be in. It's like, yeah, I know how it's going to turn out, but it's going to be one hell of a ride getting there. And now it's just kind of, well, for crying out loud, shock of shocks, I watched all of Raw this Monday. I know. I forgot that Roman had the damn thing with him.
Right?
I mean, I don't know if he does the thing where it's like over his shoulder, like backwards, so it like blends in with his gear, but fuck.
Here's the thing. The United States Open Challenge gave us a couple of match of the year contenders.
Oh God, yeah.
And so the fact that we're back to Roman Reigns with the strap around his over his shoulder the wrong way, just strolls to the ring with the championship, pretty much saying, "Ha, I got the belt. Everybody else can suck it." That's where we're at this point.
Pretty much, and I don't know. Maybe if that was, I get the feeling like that's not supposed to be his character. I got the belt. Y'all can suck it. But it kind of feels like it. And all I can say is, as a final point on this, Roman and Raw, look at what they're doing with the U.S. Championship. Look what The Miz is doing.
Right. And I'm excited for The Miz and Dean Ambrose again.
Oh, my God. Oh,
the fact that they've inserted Renee Young, that just adds a whole new level of awesome.
And they've done it so well.
They have. They really have. But we'll get to that here when we cover SmackDown. One last point I want to make about Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman this week are going to be having a last man standing match on Monday Night Raw. What is the best outcome for this match?
Best outcome?
Yes.
I think this is a tough one.
It is. Because I like how they've been booking Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, because they've been booking him as this badass that if whenever he doesn't get his way, he riggedy wrecks everything in the known universe. So,
Oh God, yeah.
In my opinion, the best way to end this would be, because I don't necessarily want Braun to lose a last man standing match. But Sammy needs to win. Because otherwise he just looks like a buffoon.
I agree with you. Sammy cannot lose this. But the way you described it, like if Sammy wins, that's probably the best case scenario. If, and this is an if, and this does not come down to storytelling, at least not, in the promos and video packages sense. This comes down to the match itself and in-ring storytelling. If they can tear the fucking house down, they put on one of the best last man standing matches most of that crowd will have seen in years, then I think they could get away with continuing the feud with neither man answering the count of 10. But it would have to be amazing. Right.
It would have to be. It'd have to be anything less than perfect. It'd be bad.
But here's the thing. I genuinely believe they can do it. I don't think that it's going to necessarily happen. I just do personally think that they both, as a pair, going into a match, have the capability and talent to pull it off. That being said, I do think that they should book Sammy going over. I think it should be a hard-fought win, and I think it should almost come under the category of barely, if you want to keep Braun looking good and all that, but still.
I agree. Would there be any sort of shenanigans from anyone?
I think you could do shenanigans, but what I think they could do, and I think they could keep this, you could say that you could make an argument this would just be part of the overall story they've been doing. You could have shenanigans occur where Braun is just killing Sammy. Like he's, the heel thing where like the big powerful heel pins the guy 1, 2, and then he picks the guy up,
right,
breaking the pin himself. He's doing crap like that. He's like plowing him through stuff. I should say not the 3 count. He's like at the count of 9, he's picking him off the mat and stuff. Like Sammy's basically half dead. Mick Foley, while Sammy's basically unconscious, interferes on his behalf, kind of protecting him a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you could do promos like, Sammy's like convinces him to, like, hey, why don't you make me good enough to beat him? Like, and you do like training, him imparting like legend skills to him, and then Sammy comes back and beats Braun later.
I like that. I really do.
I don't think Raw's capable of telling a story that good, but still.
Right. Yeah, I don't think we'd see any sort of Foley interference. Solely because, I don't know if you heard this, Foley doesn't have any health insurance.
Oh, no. Well, I hadn't heard that. That's really sad, and I can relate, buddy. But, I'm not talking like he gets in there and like mixes it up with Braun. I'm talking like, we're talking, this is deep into the match. Like if this were to say go 20 minutes, this is at like minute 17, 18. He gets up behind Braun. Braun turns around, and what I'm about to do, you could do it one way, you could do it another. When I say Foley gives him a chair shot, I mean Braun's going to have to practice getting his hands up in front of his face.
A headshot.
Yeah, or you do it to the back and roll it over so it like goes across his neck and the bottom of his head. Those are still legal in WWE because they don't count as full-on headshots, but they can still hurt, and they look brutal, especially since you're hitting the back of the neck. You could have him do that, or like then when Braun staggers forward, wails on him, or you could get bold, do the face shot. Either way, you do something like that. Braun goes down, Foley grabs Sammy, drapes him over, 1, 2,